the level is amazing, and I'm going to introduce, he is coming through the aisle, Boris Schlosseberg. Boris, how are you doing? While he is wired for the 4th year in a row, we will have the honor to share strategies, knowledge, experience, and expertise with one of the best experts in currencies. He started in Wall Street more than 20 years ago. He was invited to CNBC. He's a regular commentator in CNBC Asia and Europe, and he's authored several successful books. He is regularly quoted by the main agencies. He is a partner together with Cassie Ryan of Big Asset Management, one of the technical information blogs which is more highly recognized by the sector. He lives in New York. He is visiting Madrid exclusively to take part in this Forex Day, and his speech has as a title, "What I Learned from the School of Hard Knocks." This speech is sponsored by FX for a Living, and he's going to show us 3 simple lessons that we should apply in our day-to-day, in our intraday trading. His speech is going to be, his presentation is going to be very practical. It is essential and very practical. So, Boris, when you are ready, the floor is yours and you can start. Thank you.
Everybody tells you, have a plan, keep calm and have a plan, right? Number 1 rule of everybody that tells you. But the greatest philosopher in the world had a great response to that. He said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. Then you don't have such a good plan anymore, right? So I want to talk to you today about what happens when you get punched in the face. What happens when everybody, how many of you have gotten punched in the face by the market? I'll certainly raise my hand, right? And the real business, the real skill, the real start happens after we get punched in the face. This is when the real work begins of understanding how to win in the long run. So I wanted to just talk to you about a few things that I think are kind of valuable, that are not in no way trading tips. They're just things that I do that have really, really improved my ability to win in the market. Who knows who that is? Who's that? That's Robbie Booker. Who's that with him? I bet you don't know who that is. That's actually my daughter. That's my youngest child, Sienna, last year in New York. We had a great time. Robbie came with his family, and I took care of him, and we had a great time. But rule number 1, I think, and as I look at this room, it's pretty evident to me, what is it, like 95% guys here? Our strategies are not our children. How many of you have children in this room? How many of you have children in the room, right? What's the thing we do with our children? We give them everything, right? Something bad happens, it's okay, honey. You spent all the money I gave you, it's okay, here's more, right? You didn't behave the way I asked you to, next time you try better, right? I know we're supposed to be tough and disciplinarian. How many of us are really? We spoil all of our children rotten. That's the modern life story, right? As men, and I'm only going to talk to men, the women can just laugh at this idea, but as men, we don't have children, right? So we have what? We have our work. We have our strategies. And we think that, I have this great idea. I gave birth to this amazing, amazing strategy, and I'm going to take care of it. And even if it does something bad, I'm going to say, it's okay, honey, here's some more money. Here's a new way for me to treat you better. This is a mistake all of us make. All of us make because we think that what we created is so valuable, it is so good, that we need to take care of it. No. Our strategies are not our children. We take care of our children. We dismiss our strategies if they stop working right away. Never, ever, ever treat whatever idea you have. My Mac just went dark. You know what? I'm gonna have to keep the light on because it's gonna go on autosave. Never ever treat your strategy as something special. Here's the other thing that a lot of you probably believe. Back tests, right? We all test our strategies. They look great. Wow, I am going to make $1 million off of my strategy because it tested really, really good. And I'm super good. I'm a scientist. I did every statistical study in the world. I have applied all the rigorous methods. I am telling you that my back test is great, right? Here's the rule number one of anybody who wants to test a strategy. Never, ever, ever, ever believe your back test. Even if it's good, don't ever believe it. It will always be wrong eventually. I'm not saying don't back test. It's important to back test. It's important to have a degree of confidence. It's important to have a general idea of how the past went. But the past is never the future. Let me show you why. The best example for why the back test is always wrong, no matter how good it looks, is the example from Nassim Taleb. Who knows who Nassim Taleb is, right? Nassim Taleb, now very few people know this. He's a very famous guy. He wrote a lot of really, really good books. One of the most recent ones that is very good is called Anti-Fragile. He's a hedge fund manager, a philosopher, and just, generally an asshole of a human being, but a really smart guy. And his point is this. We call this in English the turkey problem. So I need to make you understand that in America, the single biggest holiday, aside from Christmas, is Thanksgiving. This is a holiday when everybody in America sits down with their family and they celebrate the beginning of the country with the Pilgrims by eating the turkey, right? Almost no other time during the year, Americans eat turkey. But this one day, they eat like 300 million turkeys. Everybody eats, the turkey bird. So Nassim Taleb sort of gives a great example of what we call the turkey problem with the back test. And this is basically this. And hopefully you guys will get the right translation. Basically, a turkey is fed for 1,000 days by a butcher. And every day he confirms to the Turkey's economics department and Turkey's risk management department and Turkey's analytical department that the butcher loves turkeys, right? Every day you make money. Every day for 1,000 days you get money, 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 money. But then on day 1001, boop, the turkey's head gets cut off. You know how many accounts I've seen like this? How many accounts have you seen like this? This is a turkey, or this could be an FX trading account. It's the same thing. How many of you were long the pound yesterday whose account's starting to look like this? Right? This is why back tests always lie. They lie. They're lying motherfuckers. Do not ever trust a back test. I just want you to really understand that. Now, the other thing that's very true, everybody's going to tell you, discipline, control, have a strategy, have a plan. All good. Yeah, I agree, totally. Doesn't matter. Everybody is going to trade like the cowboy. You know what I mean by a cowboy? This is what cowboys do, right? Cowboys do crazy things. They get on a stupid bull and they try, I tell you, in America, we root for the bull. I know in Spain you have the big bullfighting, but we actually root for the bull. But the point being is, cowboys are crazy, and we all do. In my trading room, we call it the cowboy trade. The cowboy trade is basically, I'm going to, pardon my English, we call it the what the fuck trade. It's basically, hey, I feel like buying something today, let me buy the pound. Hey, this looks good on the chart, let me do this. Hey, let me try this, right? It's basically anything you do that you really haven't thought about, right? So, I'm going to make everybody in this room promise me one thing. If you do nothing from this conference, but just this one thing, I see you next year I want everybody in this room, I guarantee you, everybody I see in this room is going to thank me. This is the only thing anybody in this conference needs to do when you walk away. So promise me you're going to do this, because this is what we do in my room. This is what I do with myself. You will make a lot of dumb trades this year, but if your trade is not part of your original hardcore trading plan, right? If your trade doesn't have a stop, yeah, I kind of want to trade it. Let's see how it goes. My favorite expression in the trading language, let's see how it goes. If your trade is experimental, then promise me you will do this. Promise me that you will always, siempre trade this size only. Siempre. Even if you are 1,000,000% convinced that the pound was going to make you $1 million yesterday, it's not part of your plan, you trade this size. If you do this next year, every one of you will have a much better trading account. This advice is not about winning. This advice is about how not to lose. This advice is about how to avoid this. You will never have this if you do this. So just promise me. Yo siempre opero solo.
I only trade
A lot if I do this. That's the most important lesson that I can teach you. Now, my third observation that I kind of want to bring to you is something that Woody Allen said. And you know, we had a really hard time translating this into Spanish. I was actually surprised that it didn't, the colloquialism doesn't translate, but hopefully you guys will understand. Woody Allen is very famous. I mean, you know Woody Allen, right? Everybody knows Woody Allen, right? He's very famous for saying something that's kind of interesting. He says that 90% of life is just showing up. And what he means by that is that success in life is not about doing the great thing. It's not about doing the amazing thing. It's not about this genius moment that you have and then everything else just kind of, comes in. Success in life is about grinding it out. It's about just showing up to work every day. How many of us just show up to work every day? Oh, God, I wish, right? It's hard. It's hard just to do the basic thing every single day. But if you do, I guarantee you, your trading will be much, much better. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be a super great trader. You don't have to be anything but average. Just be normal. And you're already ahead of 90% of the people who just don't want to do the work. And the other thing that I think is interesting, sort of going back to all these American heroes, is people always come to me and say, how do I learn how to trade? And my answer is just trade. Just trade. Don't do the demo. Don't read 1,000 different books. Read them, but while you're trading, trade. Your only way, as Amelia Earhart said, the only way to effectively do something is to just do it. But do it at 0.01 lotes, right? Just do it this way. And you will get so much better. You will get so much better in your trading. I don't know who that is, but he's some fat, happy guy with a nice trading idea. So that's all I got to say, really. I have nothing else to say. Trade small. You're going to do cowboy trades. Trade always. And I already forgot what my first knock at the thing was. About the plan. But I did come here and I wanted to share something very special with you, which is the insurance business. All of you who've been here before know that I look at trading like an insurance company. I basically do the exact opposite of what everybody tells you. I do not risk a penny to make a million. I risk a million to make a penny. Not quite the same, not quite that bad, but I do it the exact opposite. The reason why I have a very, very negative risk-reward ratio is because I day trade. And as a day trader, I make a lot of trades. And just like the insurance company, I basically sell life insurance to everyone. How many of you people have life insurance here? How many have life insurance? Right? That's it? But nobody in Spain has life insurance? You're supposed to have life insurance the moment you're married and you have children. Everybody has to have life insurance. Anyways, if you have life insurance, right, and you're buying what's called term life insurance, you pay 1,000 euros a year for $1 million coverage, right? And you go, this is crazy. How can the insurance company make money? You know who are the most profitable companies in the world? The insurance companies. The insurance companies love to sell you $1,000 life insurance for $1 million profit. Because you know why? Because they know 99.9% of the time, you're never going to get the money. They get the money, you get nothing. You get what's called peace of mind, meaning that they took your money, you got nothing. They took all my money every year, right? So we have the exact same idea. We're basically in the insurance business. We take the market's money every day without worrying about giving money back to the market. As you can see, this is my real accounts. These are all my copy accounts. I went back from last year because I wanted to show you the results from last year, and I trade really conservatively. I'm going to show you what I can do when I trade aggressively, but this is no leverage at all, like literally no leverage, less than 1 leverage. Okay, this is the results for less than 1 leverage. This is another account that we traded less than 1 leverage. Again, going back from last year. This is the same concept, same philosophy. We trade like an insurance company. Do we lose money? Of course we lose money. You lose money over here. Here's how you lose money. This is how I lose money. I lose money. I lose money. That's it. I lose money 3 times out of 300 days in a row. Yes, that's my idea. Now, I came to you because I wanted to do something special this year. I want to show you a strategy that we've started to trade right now in my trading room. This I did just over the last what is that, since May 19th? 3 weeks? 3 weeks. 10% trading the strategy. This is more aggressive. This trades at, so if let's say you have 10,000 euros in the account, my opening trade is 40,000 euros. That's my leverage, right? So first trade is 40,000 euros. That's why this is much more aggressive, and I will lose more money. You see, I'll have bigger losses. But if you want to really ramp it up, this is the most aggressive strategy that I have. So, want to hear the strategy? Yes? Okay. We call this the boomerang. We've gone through a lot of different names for it. You can call it whatever you want. The rules are actually in English because I didn't have a chance to translate them, but they're relatively simple. This is all that we trade, these 5 currency pairs. What do insurance companies do? They never sell insurance to sick people, right? What's the first thing you do when you take a life insurance thing? They make a health test on you. If you even remotely sick, no. I don't sell you insurance. If I am remotely uncertain about a currency pair, I don't trade it. This is the only currency pairs that I have good information on, good pricing on, that I'm going to trade. The key thing about trading like an insurance company is to be extremely selective in what you want to do. This is why the strategy works. So only 5 currency pairs, right? So I'll go through the rules with you, and then we'll do some charts. We have time? Yeah, I think we have time, right? Yeah, we'll do some charts, and I'll show you some chart examples, and I'll show you some real trades, and so hopefully you guys will understand it visually. It's very simple. I trade very simple. Here's what we do. We trade between 800 and 2000 GMT, which is like 10 o'clock Madrid to 2200 Madrid time, right? That's the only time of the day that we trade. We also trade, I brought you a modified version. We also trade one in Asia, but let's stick for the Europe. So also those of you who follow me sometimes on YouTube know that I have spent the last sort of 10 years doing nothing but focusing on the 00 numbers. Euro 114, Euro 113, dollar yen 107, dollar yen 108, dollar yen 109. If you haven't traded Forex market, if you even trade any market, you'll see that the 00 numbers really matter. Why? Because nobody looks at Fibonacci. Nobody looks at moving averages. No, you think Coca-Cola or Microsoft or Hewlett-Packard or Zara looks at moving averages when they're thinking about euro-dollar hedging? No. You know, what do you think the guy at Zara picks up the phone? Sell me euro at 114 because that's my payroll. They're all looking at round numbers as their basic source of reference. Even you, when you look at casually, like, where's euro today? It's 115. Where's euro today? It's 113, right? The most casual reference source is always at the 00 number, which is why there's a lot of two-way traffic. There's a lot of two-way traffic in those numbers, and that's what we exploit. We exploit the fact that there's a lot of stops and there's a lot of supply and demand of those numbers. So we trade the supply and demand around the 00 numbers. So this is a very simple strategy. It doesn't care whether you want to be long or short. It lets the market tell you. All it does is just say, if it goes through the 00, then we put a sell order at 10, buy order at 90. And then whichever one hits, if the price bounces to 10, we get short at 10. If the price comes down to 90, we get long at 90, right? And then we manage the trade. This is the key thing. The key thing here is we have a inventory mechanism that we use that works very, very well. So if it goes to 90 and then it comes back to 0, done, we're done. We make 10 points. All we look for is 10 points. We look for 10 points 5-6 times a day. That's all we do. The other thing that we're not is greedy at all. So 0 to 90 to 0, make 10 points, we're gone. If it goes to 80, we buy another one. Then from 80 to 90, if it goes back to 90, we make 10 points, we go away. If it goes to 70, we do 2 times. This is the last time we add. And then it goes from 70 to 80, we make 10 points, we're gone. I'll show you on the charts how this works. It's very, very simple. Then, if we are wrong, we sold insurance policy to some, bastard who started smoking and decided to ride a motorbike because he's had a midlife crisis, then we get out. We get out at the 50 level. So very, very negative risk reward. I am sure nobody has ever shown you a strategy that looks so stupid. I'm sure nobody's ever said, hey, this is a great idea. Let's gamble 110 pips and make 10 pips at a time. Wow, this sounds really, really, really good, right? I don't think anybody's ever shown this to you. That's because nobody really trades for a living. If you trade for a living, if you actually are in the markets, this is actually a pretty viable strategy. I'll tell you why. Loco? No. No loco. Because if you traded this strategy with me in May, 67 out of 70 trades that we took were winners, right? So I came out ahead. I came out way ahead. In fact, if I could replicate May for the rest of my life, I'd be a very, very happy man. I made 300 pips in May trading this. This is my real account, pound dollar, right? Here's what happens to the pound dollar here. Well, I think I cut off the chart, so let's go to the next chart. Here you can see it much better. So here's dollar yen. So dollar yen, right? We came in 109, breaks 109, goes all the way down to 109.90, comes back up, boom, done. We're done. Takes 10 points. Here is Kiwi, right? Kiwi was tough. Kiwi went 710, 720, 730. Took us a while. We resolved it, came back down, right? This is posts from my chat room, right? So he's saying, I just made 6. This was Friday. Made 6 out of 6 winners today. This was, I think, Thursday, where he said, they're calling this now the Boris trade. It's not the we call it the boomerang trade. They made 7 out of 7 the winners so far, right? If you want to get the EA that trades this and get the rules, you can feel free. You can take a picture of this to just go to my website. It's we price it very cheaply. And then if you want to come trade with us, you can do this all the time. We've created a full EA to kind of manage this whole process. But I want to show this to you on the charts So you can see this a little bit better, and you can understand the strategy, and then you can ask me any questions you like about it. So let me just... And, you know, give me a date. I don't care. Give me a date. I'll pull up any chart that you want, and I'll trade it with you without even looking at it. This is, the only problem is these charts are like my, sorry, I'm just going to make this small because this, there we go. I just got to get the chart on this tiny little screen here. Okay, here's euro dollar. So this is euro dollar. This is actually yesterday, right? So if I'm this is euro dollar yesterday. I'm gonna highlight the 1300 level. Trust me, this is basically the 1300 level, right? So, and this is all New York time. So we're trading this off New York time. So New York time, you see, look what happens. It drops through the 1300 level. It goes all the way down to 1285. Doesn't quite make it 1280, right? I don't think this is 1280. Yeah. We buy right here. We buy at the 90. We buy right here, and it comes right back up. Now, the other thing I forgot to tell you. Sorry, I forgot to tell you this. Very, very important. We only do this one time during every single session. You know why? Because if you're an idiot and you try and do it more times, you're going to lose money, because then it starts to go down and down and down, right? Because the first time the price gets tested, it generally tends to go back to the price. The second time, the third time, you know, the risk is much worse. The whole reason why we're successful is because we do it one time per one currency pair per one session. No greed. No greed. If you want to be greedy, trade the cowboy. Do it again at 0.1. Do it again at 0.1 as many times as you want. But don't ever do it at the size that we're supposed to do it at more than once in the strategy. So it's very, very important that you stay focused on that. So you want to look at let's take a look at yen. I don't care. Let's pick a date. Let's pick 607. Oops, sorry. Just bear with me, guys. I just want to. This chart needs to be so much smaller so we can actually see the prices. Okay, here's the prices. So. Okay, great. So yen, 107, right? Yen was 107, 108 this week. Didn't do much around the 107. Here's a day we couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything because never touched the 00 level. Let me go here. Okay, let's trade the Asia session, for example. We trade this all the time. I just didn't want to show you the rules. But in Asia, same kind of idea. Yen, right? I'm just pulling this out. I didn't even look at it. It trades 107. It crosses 107 in Asia. This is New York time, so this is 2300. This is 11 o'clock in the morning Tokyo time. We go through the 107. It goes to 107.10, right? I think maybe it goes to 107.20. No, it doesn't quite get back to 107.20. So the highest it goes is 107.10. And then it comes back down. We make our 10 points, right? Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing of why you could really like this strategy. We trade this on FXCM. FXCM has the best spreads, the tightest spreads. It's very effective. It executes all the time. But if you want to trade it like on another broker, let's say Oanda, right, or somebody else, sometimes, and I trade on two accounts, sometimes the trade that happens on FXCM doesn't get executed on Oanda because it goes to 10, but Oanda never sells it from you. The spread never hits. So what happens is sometimes the Oanda trade will buy it. The FXCM trade sold it at 110. The Oanda trade bought it at 106.91. Doesn't matter. I made money both ways. It's not about direction. It's not about movement. It's about understanding what's important in the market at that time, understanding how to manage your inventory, and understanding how to manage your risk. So hopefully you guys found this interesting. How are we on time? We still have. I still have like a few minutes. If you want to look at more examples, I can show you more. We can go back. Let's say. Let's pick just anything random. I literally. Let's go May 16th to May 20th. Or May 27th. May 27th was my birthday, so let's go through that. Let's just look at those charts and just we'll see how this would have traded here. So here's the 109s. It breaks the 109, right? Straight again. You can see on the chart yourself. I don't even have to show you. Breaks the 109. You buy the 108.80. It comes right back up. You made money. That's it. Just one trade. One trade. You make money. This is an extraordinarily consistent trade, assuming two things. You're not stupid enough to want to trade in front of non-farm payrolls, in front of the ECB meeting, in front of the FOMC meeting. Here's another rule of hard knocks that nobody ever tells you, but I think this is kind of very interesting. And I think with Ashraf being here before and Robbie coming in later, I think everybody will agree. Technical traders, people say, I trade technically, I don't care about news, right? Stupidest 3 words in any language, but definitely in the English language. It's not that technical traders don't care about news. Technical traders don't trade news. If you want to be successful as a technical trader, you want to avoid news at all costs. All of your losses on all of your robots will come as a result of the fact that you're not paying attention to the news. When we have news, we stop. Then when the news comes out and the news is already in the marketplace, the best time to trade. Then the technicals take over. This is the key difference between trading fundamental traders trade news, which is great. You make a bet on which way you think the news goes, you will make money. Technical traders, it's not that they don't care about news. Good technical traders avoid news. It's not that you don't care about news, you avoid news. That's the other really critical thing in trading well. So if you want to trade technically, you damn well better know all the news that's happening. It is your responsibility to know the news. You don't have to have a view on the news, you don't have to trade the news, but you definitely need to know which news is coming. All right. Any questions? We've got like 5 minutes here. I'm happy to answer this. I told you, very simple strategy. It took me 5 minutes to explain it. I could go on with examples and examples and examples, but I want you to see it for yourself. If you want to get the EA for this whole thing, then hang on. Let me take you back to the. Feel free. And if, it is in English, so yes, I'm sorry, it's hard, if you don't speak English, it's hard to understand, but I'm actually talking to somebody at this show right now who might be my Spanish helper, so for those of you who don't speak English, don't worry, we might have somebody who's going to help us out and translate some stuff in Spanish. But anyways, I'll leave you with any questions, any thoughts? I know it's unique. I know it's completely different from what a lot of people have shown you, but we trade live every single day, 250 days a year in my chat room, and this is what we do. This is how we make money, 10 pips at a time. Yes, Robbie.
So, you're a trader. You are a trader. You're a trade for a living.
Those are all real money. You saw that. That's real accounts, right?
So what's your schedule like? How do you live your life? What's your schedule like?
It's a little crazy. Do you really want to know my schedule?
I want to know where you are every
Okay, so I'm a little extreme. You don't have to be this extreme. I'm extreme. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, New York time, which is 9 o'clock Madrid, right? And I trade all the way through until about 1600 New York time, right? The New York close, right? I take a nap. I definitely take a nap. I'm not a robot. I take a nap like at 1 o'clock, and I take a siesta at 1 o'clock, and then we have dinner, and then I trade Asia session, which is 7 o'clock New York, 1900 New York, till about 10 o'clock New York, and then I go to sleep. And by Friday, I'm very tired. But the point is, I have in my trading room, I have people from Australia, from Germany, from England, from Spain, from Venezuela, from anywhere, right? Where's Miguel? I wonder if Miguel is here. Miguel, está aquí? Where's my, where? There he is. There's Miguel. Miguel is in my room. He's one of my most active traders, right? And Miguel can tell you in Spanish that I'm not bullshitting. This is what we do. This is really what we do. We take these seemingly crazy risks, but they work, right? I mean, Miguel shows his account to us every single day, and he does really, really well. So the point is, you don't have to do everything. I'm there to help you. People who in my room come in sometimes to Europe, sometimes for Asia, sometimes just for for a couple of times. But this is for day trading, right? And if you want to day trade, you have to pay attention. Yes, you have to pay attention. If you want to do something more casual, more long term, then you want to talk to Robbie, you want to talk to Ashraf, those guys. I do one thing only. I'm not smart enough. I'm not that smart. Even though everybody seems to think I know the future, I am not smart enough to predict the future. I can predict the weather 5 minutes forward. I am very confident that 5 minutes from now it's going to be very sunny in Madrid. I'm not very confident that 5 days from now it will be sunny in Madrid. So that's how I view trading, So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Great to see everybody. It's so super good to be here for fourth year in a row. Every year gets better. I mean, every year gets better for us. We learn more new things, and I hope you guys learn more things. And the only thing I just want to leave you with is siempre, siempre, siempre.
You always.
And you are experimenting, and then you'll be much better off. Okay? Gracias.